Okay, this video is 21 Wall Street, Vancouver, BC. It's the third thing that happened to me. One night, I'm laying there, and it was Saturday night. I'm working at the C-Bus station in North Vancouver. There's a coffee shop there, and I'm working the coffee shop at the entrance of the C-Bus station. And the door closes at 11. And I gotta catch the 11:30 C-Bus. So we start cleaning like at 9:30, 10 to get cleaned up and close the place, count the cash, lock it up, and get on that goddamn bus, the C-Bus, to get back to the mainland so I can get home by 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It's an hour bus ride also. Fuck, brutal. Anyway, you miss that C-Bus and you're spending the night in the park bucking bench because you ain't walking home, you got no money for a cab. Anyway, I'm getting on that goddamn bus. I don't care if it's clean or not. The last bus was 11:30. 10 o'clock, even 9 o'clock, around 10, I start feeling the ETs hooking up to me, right? They're hooking up. And the more I work, the stronger it gets, the stronger the feeling gets. The more I work, the more I'm feeling it. So it's like 11. I'm getting done, I'm packing up, turning off the lights, and I'm feeling them. I'm feeling them real good. Like I can almost look up in the sky and see them. That's how it feels. So I get on the C-Bus, and I'm still feeling them. I get across to the mainland. I get on a city bus, and I'm still feeling them. And I have to drive. You have to travel all the way down Pender or something. I think it's Pender to another street. Then go down. So you get off on Pender, I think. You walk a block, and you end up at. I'm feeling them the whole time. So you go down Pender. I believe it's Pender. You get off way up on the hill, I think, and then you come down into like an industrial scary ass zone, and you're on, I forgot the name of the street that Wall Street's on, but you get to that street where Wall Street's on, and then you have to walk down Wall Street from the main street, and on the left is a park, and we called it Too Dark Park because Skinny Puppy has a song called, or an album called Too Dark Park, and it was like that, and it's fucking filled with, I mean, drug addicts like you wouldn't believe, and there's scary shit going on, and it's like dark and silent. For Vancouver, that's a dark ass park, and it's scary in there, and there's fucking heroin addicts tripping out, drug addicts, guns and shit going off all the time, and so it was always an issue for me walking through this fucking park. Oh, on the sidewalk, and the park's on the left. Every night I feel like I'm gonna get fucking knifed. So I always carried a big rock with me, or a knife, like a hunting knife that I had, either or, depending on the feel of the day. Anyway, I used the rock a couple times, by the way. That's a different story, but anyway, I'm walking through the park, and the ETs are killing me. They're beaming me right in the fucking chest, and I can feel it so bad. And I'm freaking out about the aliens. I'm walking, I'm trying to keep my shit focused here so I don't get knifed or killed or mugged or something. Because the eyes, when you're walking down there, there's eyes on you. And I know it because I've done it every night for years. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, got my rock or my knife, and I'm walking. And the eyes are on me. The ETs are there. And I'm walking. I'm like, keep your shit tight. Keep it tight, man. Keep it tight. Right? Keep it together. Keep it together. And I'm walking through this park. And hopefully I'm showing you on here. As I'm walking. I'm looking over where my building is. The park ends. There's a couple buildings. And then there's my building in there. And as I'm walking, I see a disc craft. Okay, I see a disc craft, but it's outlined like static outline, like a black and white. You know how a black and white static on a TV, little squares. But imagine that like an outline of a disc craft with a little bit of static in the middle against the black night sky. I can see the disc going across like this. So pretend this is the disc, the UFO. And it's flying like this. And then this is a house, and it goes behind the house, goes behind the apartment building like that, and it comes out the other side like that. And I'm watching it, and it's huge. It's like huge. I couldn't believe it. I was like, it was football field size, but it was static. It was like it was like a ghost image, but it was there, and it flew right there. It came out the other side and went over the roof, went over the road I was walking towards, and went. And I couldn't see anymore for the road on the other side of the road, the trees and the buildings. So I'm like, holy shit. So I fucking just start running. I run in there, get into the building, run in the apartment. I told Glenn, my buddy that was living there, I go, I just saw a UFO flew over the house, man. And I was so pumped up. He goes, oh, bullshit. He goes, bullshit. I go, I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you somehow. I don't know. And so I was all pumped up, and I talked about it with him before I went to bed that night. And the ETs, they left after that. The feeling left. That was all it was about. Couldn't understand that very well. Usually they don't. So it was like they followed me home from work. I couldn't figure out why. Then it's not like they followed me home. They just came to visit, and I was on my way home. One or the other. I don't know. Couldn't figure that out. It was the only time that happened. And so the next day was Sunday or day off, and I was getting paid. And I go, come on, man, let's go. I'll take you out. We'll have some beers, or we'll go to Stanley Park and lay on the beach. And it's the middle of winter, so you can lay on the beach and keep warm and look for hawks and eagles. It's something to do, relax, right? So I go, just go to the park. We'll get some big sausages and eat them on the beach. And he's like, okay. So we go to North Vancouver to get my pay. We can get on the bus, get on the C bus, go across, and then I go into the coffee shop. My boss is waiting on customers, and he's got to write out my check or give me my pay. Either way, I'm waiting. So I turn around, I go to the shelf on the windows. Like, we have a bar there, and there's newspapers, and the newspapers were wrapped up, still in the plastic. So I opened up, took the strap off the North Vancouver newspaper, a little tiny thing, whatever, threw it in the garbage. And so I open it up and I'm looking at it, and the newspaper said, last night, kids on the far side of the bridge, which was just not that far away, the Lionsgate Bridge on the North Shore, kids were fishing on the Pacific side, the western side of the bridge. They were fishing right beside the bridge. They saw a UFO come down at the same time, around midnight, 11 to midnight. That's when I was working. And I started feeling them. They said a UFO came down right above them and shot a beam at them. Shot a beam of light at them. Then the beam went back up into the ship. They said they could actually watch the beam go back up into the ship, and the ship flew away. In the North Vancouver. And then it said they contacted, or somehow an astronomer got involved. An astronomer said it was a meteorite they saw. Of course, right. And I go, hey dude, and I walked up to my, I go, remember when I told you last night about the ET? Follow me home from work. The ETs followed me home from work. He goes, yeah. And I go, remember I saw the UFO fly over our house? He goes, yeah. I go, check this out. And I slapped the paper right in his face, and he read it, and he's like, holy shit. He couldn't believe it, man. He couldn't believe it. So I got more proof from that. I got the newspaper and him, which was awesome. So whenever you have a contact, an experience like that, check the newspapers the next day and listen to the radio, because a lot of times it'll confirm. You have confirmation of what happens to you the night before. Just saying. That's what happened. He flipped out. So we then went to Stanley Park, had a day of it. That was about it. I wasn't doing CE5s of this. I was, but I wasn't. Mostly I was just living, having experiences, and the ETs would come. I wasn't actually doing CE5s. I had done CE5s earlier, but I didn't know I was doing CE5. So, what do you do, right? But if I would have known what a CE5 was and the makeup of how to do a CE5 spiritually, I'd have been doing it a long time ago. But I didn't even know. I like, shit just happened all the time, so I just fucking rolled with it. I didn't have to call them up. I was like on their schedule, man. I don't know. It just kept coming. Sometimes I'd see a craft, sometimes I wouldn't. But anyway, every experience I got to verify with my sister and my cousin, and they came a lot. More, like they came more times in BC than they did in Ontario. And I always wondered about that. And I'm like, why would they do that? Why would they come? Just drop in whenever. Metropolis fucking city. Fucking billion people living in this city. And they're flying around, shooting lasers and shit. I have more experiences to tell you. That there's just broad daylight. There it is, right there in the sky. So stupid. There's a million people looking at it, taking pictures of it, and they're like, no fighter jets, no nothing bad. Nothing happens. A UFO in the sky, right there. Everybody's looking at it, taking pictures of it. No one cares. Everything's cool. I don't understand. There must be some kind of different laws out there or something. I don't know. But Ontario, the ETs don't come like they do in Vancouver, BC. So if you live in Vancouver and you're doing CE5s, man, get out on the beach on a clear day. At daytime, the fuck the night. Get out there in the daytime, man. And ask them to come down. Keep watching. I got a couple more from Wall Street there I've had. So anyway, this is a third experience I had in Vancouver, BC that I confirmed with Glenn again. Nothing happened with my sister. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool experience, man. Alright, I don't know what else to say. Except stay tuned for the next one.